Hey guys, Dave here, and welcome back to another episode of Press C for Carnage. Joining me as always is Colin and Jordan,
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
and a special guest is his wife, Megan.
Hello.
So today, Colin's actually gonna be first on the chopping block, as he has his own story. Colin, what do you got?
So, Google and Nvidia have come up and stated concerns about Microsoft's Activision acquisition.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. And they've stated it to the FTC. So, what are your thoughts on this?
I feel like
On
we've talked about
the
this.
FTC?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the FTC. Well, what are your thoughts on Google and Nvidia
like
coming
joining
in on this?
hands. Oh, Jesus.
Well,
Yeah.
hold on. Are we blaming Google or are we blaming Microsoft?
What?
Because yes, they're the same, but they're still separate. They're still separate.
I feel
They're
like they're
the
both
same?
just—it's just two conglomerates fighting with each other.
They are, but we are talking about Microsoft, right? Not Google.
So it's saying Google and Nvidia have joined hands with Sony in
Okay.
raising concerns with the transaction of Microsoft buying.
Okay,
Activision.
well, off the top, not even gaming related. Google needs to back off because
Agreed.
they're ones that shouldn't be talking.
Yeah, right.
As far as buying
Haven't you
everything,
Haven't you heard about their hip online gaming service called Stadia? Oh wait, no, sorry, that's not
Hip
it.
online gaming service. You mean the one that got shot in the head at in the backyard?
Exactly.
God, you made it to the backyard. Jesus.
It was dying on the kitchen floor.
Yeah, man, that was locked in a basement, being handed lotion down a well.
Oh my god!
Like,
It's Stadia. It puts lotion on its skin.
It must be money.
so back to the topic at hand. So they're yelling at who now?
So
I
apparently,
lost my train of thought.
according to this article that you linked, that you sent me, it's in the Discord. It says Alphabet Incorporated's Google and Nvidia Corporation have expressed concerns to the Federal Trade Commission about Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, adding fuel to the government's case against the $69 billion deal, according to the people familiar with the matter. The companies have joined Sony in raising issues with the transaction. The FTC have sued to block the transaction in December. The commission has argued that the deal would hinder competition in the video game industry and has scheduled an in-house trial for August of this year, 2023. So, yeah, that's what's going on. Apparently, Google and Nvidia both have issues with this transaction.
Now, to me, it's hard to give an input because this is on the heels of Sony's big suit against Microsoft. So is everybody just following suit now? And
Wait, was Sony? Right. So, they were saying Sony sued Google or whatever. I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
yeah, Sony, Google, Sony, Microsoft. I don't know why Nvidia is involved, to be honest.
Well,
Because they have an online gaming subscription.
I understand, but they could stick to graphics. That's what they're good at.
Agreed. According to this, Google and Nvidia provided information that backs a key FTC contention with the acquisition that Microsoft could gain an unfair advantage in the market for cloud subscription and mobile gaming, according to the people involved, who asked not to be identified because the process is confidential. In its remarks, in its remarks to the FTC, Nvidia stressed the need for equal and open access to game titles, but didn't directly oppose the acquisition entirely, according to one of the people involved. So Nvidia's partially okay with it, but I think it's what Colin said. They have a platform, or
I know they have a platform, but Nvidia right now is severely putting kindling under their even their graphics side of things. They have full access to all games available to PC. So I feel like they're sort of jeopardizing themselves with that right now.
well, I think
And Microsoft can cut them out of anything they acquire from here forward. So
it's true. That's true. They have to use Windows, so you're basically right.
yeah, it's welcome back, Edge.
Yeah.
Whatever
Colin, what were you gonna
platform
say?
you got.
But no, I wasn't going to say anything. But yeah, it's. I assume it's just for their online subscription service.
GeForce Now, I believe, is what it's called.
Yeah, it's GeForce Now.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: they're defending it because look, their new graphics cards are getting into the thousands of dollars. So not many people are going to want those high-end things. So if they can still make money on people who want to play video games online, they're going to fight for the rights to get the games people want to play. And because remember when this we talked, I don't know if we talked about this earlier on the podcast, but Microsoft made the offer that all the games will still be accessible to your platform for at least 5 to 10 years. I don't think they extended that offer to anyone else,
right?
Which means that Nvidia and their gaming service would have been cut out of the loop on one of the bigger games.
I think there's more. Like, I think Microsoft has a bigger projection going on here than what they're putting out. Seeing as they're like passively, barely fighting against Sony, and now you got these accusations coming against them. I think Microsoft has a plan for 10 years from now, as far as how the market's going to be for gaming platform, and I think they're just trying to do everything they can not to tell the competition. I think they're trying to steer the competition in a way they want it to go. And so far, they're getting sued right off the hop. So
because if we're catching this, some big city executives are probably catching wind of it.
You mean the stockholders?
Something, and it's surprising, even though Apple is not really involved with gaming. Like I feel like they might come into play here too somehow. Like they're unheard of, and I mean anybody that uses a Mac.
Oh wow!
Like games,
man, our listener base just went.
I'm just saying you don't have the support
to
do such, but we haven't heard from them. We haven't heard from anything from Apple, even though they are limited in the gaming market.
Well, they're probably too busy dealing with their own suit right now because they're getting sued for their market being considered a conglomerate or a.
They're having problems with closed market too. See, they're trying to fight for Microsoft. They'd fight for Microsoft in this one because then they'd get to keep their closed app store and ecosystem. And then they're also fighting the European Union, I think. I think they already lost, but they no longer allowed to use their lightning cables on their phones anymore.
Yeah, I think that happened a year and a half ago, I believe. Yeah, that was a little while.
I think it finalized now.
That makes sense.
Ish, yeah.
Yeah, I know they just got sued over in one of the European countries recently as well for their payment method. One of the countries over there was like, you can't force people to use your ecosystem to make payments. You have to allow external payment sources. So.
Yeah, but truth be told, Apple had an opportunity and they took full advantage until they were told not to. Like that's. The world has always been like that.
Yeah, you take advantage until you can.
Exactly. I mean that's just smart business, and I mean, I always disagreed with Apple as far as their market goes, but it's either that paid services or riddled ads by Google.
Yes. Neither of them are good people, to be honest.
They're not. Everybody makes money on their own side.
Everyone, both of them want to shank you in the back with a dagger as soon as you turn your back.
And back to the topic at hand here. I think Google and Nvidia are just, now that Sony's making some kind of progression in their lawsuit, yes, Google and Nvidia are stepping forward, and I wouldn't be surprised if there'd be others stepping forward.
Well, maybe smaller players, sure, but Google and Nvidia being involved is definitely going to be a big hindrance on this deal. I'm not sure it's going to go through now, at least with not huge stipulations in some way.
Yeah, but again, we're talking about fucking Blizzard. I'm sorry for swearing.
Yeah,
but we're talking about Blizzard. Like, who the hell cares? You know, like, and leading into our next topic, which I we're going to talk about later is Ubisoft. Like, there's so many stupid things going on. Why are they spending so much time, resources, and effort on an Activision deal when their performance over the last 3 years has been terrible? Who cares? Let them take the fucking deficit. Let them
True.
come out with something else.
I think the biggest thing is just Call of Duty. Sorry, Colin, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I think Call of Duty is literally just the main reason why Sony has an issue and now Google, because
Yeah, but they're not even taking full control. There's still Raven they have to deal with. They're not getting 100% of COD. They're getting the server rights, but apart from that, what are they getting?
Activision Blizzard owns Raven Studios. They own all of those studios.
I thought Raven was isolated.
No, they're owned by Activision Blizzard. They are an internal studio for that.
I thought it was Infinite that.
No, all three of them are owned.
Infinity.
Treyarch, Infinite, and Raven are all owned by Activision Blizzard. They are the parent company of those studios.
Wow.
So they would have access to literally all of the Call of Duty developers. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get COD, that's a lot of power in the gaming market. I mean, think how many people.
To a point. I agree, but EA would be fucking in the same boat if they would just fix their damn game.
Well, exactly. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. What if the plan is to buy them and make their games good, like force them to keep a standard now, so they have to start making games with quality, and now they're buying a game low. They're basically doing a home improvement show where they buy a trash house and then make it into like a beautiful $1 million mansion for the future.
The thing you don't realize is with those shows specifically, those people who turn over houses, I forget what the actual word for it is, but they what they do is they just put pretty paint over it, but then leave the cockroaches within the walls. So,
well, certain people do, but I mean,
you mean house flippers?
House flippers,
yeah,
thank you.
Some people go bankrupt, or they get a TV fucking deal and they can do whatever the hell they want and afford it.
Right.
But so if let's say Microsoft loses this deal for Activision Blizzard, who gets Activision Blizzard? Who gets it? Who gets to be on the chopping block next? They would still
try to be acquiesced. They would still try to be acquired, right?
Exactly. My point is, if Microsoft, if that deal goes to shit, and Microsoft says, "Okay, you know what, we're backing off," are you telling me Sony, Google, even Nvidia? You telling me somebody else isn't going to try to take it and make a deal?
Could you imagine? Imagine them losing the deal and then giving up, and then Sony coming in and being like, "Hey, you know what? We'll take the deal."
Exactly.
Well, here's the problem. I think with the way they're going about it, they couldn't. If it's going to the FTC, they're whining to the FTC. I don't think they can't pull double standard type things.
Yeah, right. But the point is somebody has to own it. They're trying to sell. These guys don't want to be in business. They can't be forced to keep it. So it's either we all lose an incredible, not incredible. We lose the giant Call of Duty and everything else Activision owns goes away, which will never happen.
No, it would stay on PC most likely. It would just go free on Game Pass. It would just be like, Call of Duty
unless one or a group of people we don't know buys it, who don't have a name for themselves, and they keep Activision itself, a solo company.
Right.
Unless that happens, somebody has to buy them. Somebody does. So this isn't going to be resolved one way or another. This fight is going to happen again because Activision wants their billions of dollars, and they want to walk away. Well, they're going to lose it all in court.
So I just wanted to talk about this real quick before we move on to the next story. But I did find this article while we were talking from mid 2020, early 2020, February 21st, 2020. The title is Bethesda follows Activision's footsteps in pulling games from NVIDIA's GeForce Now. So I believe NVIDIA is just burnt. they're a burnt ex-girlfriend, and they are
naughty dog.
Yeah, they are a little salty about what happened 2 years ago, or now almost 3 years ago now.
Yeah, but they overstepped their boundaries. They tried to steal. They tried to use their excellent name on creating another platform in the gaming market when there was no reason to.
Yeah, it says
no reason to.
Well, in this article, it says it was because of licensing disputes. I guess they didn't want to pay the prices that Activision Blizzard were charging for Call of Duty,
Yeah.
and then when they lost that deal, then Bethesda was like, you know what, it's not worth it. We're not gonna do it either. So then they backed out as well. So
Well, exactly. It doesn't matter what they're selling the rights to originally Microsoft and Sony. It doesn't matter what they were charging them.
right.
You're another player coming in. They're going to charge you out the ass. It's a lot more resources and time and information that they're giving out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're going to have to pay for it. That's
No,
just
true, it's
common
true.
knowledge. So,
All right.
yeah, this.
I was just gonna say.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say before we move on to the next subject. Are we done talking about it? I was gonna have us take a short break.
Yeah, I mean, I could rant about the same thing over and over and keep cutting off Megan as she talks, but
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was just gonna say it just sounds like a whole giant board of Monopoly.
Yeah, right.
Hey, listen, honey. This is drama
Honey?
that we all like to listen to. This is drama.
Alert.
I'm a little upset.
Oh, listen here, Toots.
Whoa, okay, all right. Now I'm not upset anymore. Now I'm blushing.
Yeah.
Lost your train of thought now, huh?
I did.
Well, yeah, so did I. Listen, Linda, listen. So this is going to be an ongoing issue, and all it's going to do is burn everybody's time and money.
And that's what they're trying to do. That's the
and
goal.
eventually, us as the consumers are going to have to pay for it. Eventually,
You
Right.
think so?
Well, it would have to. How else do you recuperate money?
Is this
So,
what happened to
I mean,
Naughty
look at-
Dog?
What?
I don't remember. Doesn't
You guys-
Sony own Naughty Dog? Aren't they?
I'm pretty sure, Sony.
Because
owns
I don't-
Naughty Dog.
I don't hear anything about Naughty Dog anymore. The last time I've heard about Naughty Dog was when they made Sly Cooper.
Wow,
also-
honey, that was
wow.
like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Bro,
I
don't you
know.
remember the Uncharted series, and I also saw an article earlier. We're not going to go into it, but them trying to make a multiplayer Last of Us game, I
That
believe.
sounds terrible.
Well, yeah, but I think it is owned by Sony.
It's wholly owned by. No, it's 100% Sony.
I was gonna say.
I'm reading it right now.
Yeah.
Let's just say they went extinct
Just want to
and
make
move on.
I just want to make an offhand tangent comment about what you said about Last of Us multiplayer. They are milking that series to death, man. They need to stop. 2 was terrible. The first one was 10 out of 10, amazing, perfection. They should have just left it where it was. It ended perfectly. And all these remakes, have you seen what they're doing? They're remaking it again, or remastering it. I don't even know what it is anymore.
They already remastered it.
I know they did, but now they're remastering it.
Easy, man. You're gonna lose your R's and E's.
I can't.
They're just milking it for what they
It
can.
is. It's annoying me. They need to stop.
But that goes for movies and TV shows too. When you come out, absolutely rocking it, any sequels is going to be terrible or not up to code, and they might even do it deliberately, thinking, "Oh, we don't have to waste as much resources. We're going to make bank on the second one, and then the third one will do a little bit better." And then
Mm-hmm.
Entrepreneurs.
It's either you have one extreme or the other. You either have a Netflix situation where they literally cancel everything before it reaches its prime or even blooms. And then you have a Sony situation where they're just milking it dry. They're trying to milk a rock.
And I think Colin brought this up in a previous episode, is when you're small, you put in so much effort, but once you become big, and you have a bigger team, much less effort is put into a game.
Not enough love.
I mean, just look at the FIFA / Madden games. You can definitely see that.
Well, those same with NHL and Madden and MLB. All of them, they run off their own name.
Yes,
their name will get the purchases and.
Just like Call of Duty.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like the loop around. That was good.
Yeah.
All right, let me take a short break, guys, and then you guys can hear a word from our sponsors.
Has this ever happened to you?
This guy's cheating. God dang it! Oh, what'd you say about my mother, you son of a?
Did you just break the TV?
Are you tired of losing your grip and throwing your controller in anger? Introducing FuryFoam, the ultimate solution for gamers. Our specially formulated glue keeps your hands firmly on the controller, so you can focus on your game and not your frustration. Say goodbye to unnecessary property damage, and hello to steady hands with FuryFoam.
Side effects may include an increase in high fives from teammates and a decrease in controller replacements and a sudden urge to defeat the final boss. Warning, FuryFoam may cause excessive use of the words sick, epic, and everyday conversation. In rare cases, users have reported an increase in confidence and a decrease in trash talking and overall improvement in the gaming experience. FuryFoam, because who needs therapy when you have a steady hand?
And we're back. How's everyone doing on their break?
Good. How are y'all?
Good. Carnage, you?
Always good. So
Glad to hear it.
I'm gonna butt in here right away and kind of tangent over to Ubisoft.
Sure.
And so there is an article that you shared from CNBC.
I did.
About Ubisoft cancels. They canceled 3 games.
More.
due
Three
to-
more. I think they canceled 3 last year as well.
So, yeah, they did. Or they postponed a few.
Yes.
And now they're blaming for worsening microeconomic conditions. More so, the article saying that Ubisoft has dropped significantly in the stock market,
Yeah.
about 10%, which works out from what they're saying here. Oh my god, I lost it. 182 billion. That's what- Nope. No, that's what they contracted. Oh my god, I am screwing this over for you guys.
No worries. Go and keep looking for that. We'll just talk about the rest of the article until you find what you're looking for. So, quote from the Ubisoft CEO, Yves Guillemont. It's French. I do not know how to pronounce it. I apologize. He said, quote, "We are clearly disappointed by our recent performance," end quote. He also said, quote, "We are facing contrasted market dynamics as the industry continues to shift towards mega brands and everlasting live games in the context of worsening economic conditions affecting consumer spending," end quote. I just would like this comment on that by saying, no, my guy, that's not what's happening. You are making crap games. Like, literally, you are making crap games.
So I couldn't find what I was talking about, but it did work out in the billions of what they've lost in the stock market.
Right.
But I was working towards what you just said. Yeah, they're blaming that we are not spending as much money, but no, yeah, they are relying on soul games like Assassin's Creed,
Far Cry.
Right. This is back to the conversation we were talking about with Sony and The Last of Us, how they're like remastering it over and over and over again. It's just Far Cry 82. It's Assassin's Creed futuristic 2027. Like no one cares.
Well, to counter that, those games aren't bad. I personally really enjoyed Far Cry 6, and my dad and his brother are currently playing Valhalla, which they think is pretty good.
I'm not trying to say they're bad games, but it's getting to the point where it's stale. It's the same formula again and again and again. Stop. Make something new.
I mean, to your point that sometimes it can get bad, but I mean, how often do people make different bread recipes? I mean, yeah, there's the different types of bread, but once you found something that works, are you really gonna change it until you need to?
I don't think that works the same though. I don't think,
no,
because you're not eating bread every single day. Like you're not.
You're not. But you're not also playing the same games every day.
No, but I play Assassin's Creed Odyssey for 65, 70 hours, and then literally the next year they release another 65 to 70/100 hour game. Do you really think I'm not gonna think it's stale? That's not a good comparison, because bread takes 5 minutes to eat depending on how much you're eating. Assassin's Creed takes 70 hours. That's not the same comparison.
But if the 70 hours is in conjunction with the lore, and if you follow the Assassin's Creed lore from the start, then any collector or avid fan will put up the 70 hours to play through. Now, part of this article and part of what Ubisoft has said, half of it is true as far as the way the economy is going.
Agreed.
And that with Fortnite, COD, and any other battle royale that has come out, we have a different bread in play. To go off what Colin said,
right.
We have experience a new genre of game. So
Well, they
Yeah.
tried dipping their toes into that market already several times, and they failed because they're bad game developers. They need to stop.
they've had ample opportunity with Assassin's Creed, and I am shocked that Assassin's Creed is not a true open world game or
Oh, man.
massive multiplayer.
I would love an Assassin's Creed
they-
MMO / Battle Royale. I would love that. That would be
Yeah.
so cool.
They had
Far Cry tried that. In Far Cry 5, you had Far Cry Arcade, where you could like play with.
But that's the point. Now I'm going back onto Cyber's grass and saying they have all the resources to do it. There's no try. There should be
there
no
is no
try.
try.
It should be succeed. They should have an open world game. They should have a massive multiplayer server. There's no reason why they don't have the resources.
No, right.
If they can sustain Halo for all the years prior, there's no reason they can't
Right.
have at least 6400 player lobbies. There's no reason they can't.
But
So-
not every game wants that. I mean,
No, but they're not even giving it an opportunity. So they're
They
blaming the way the economy is, but they're not
yeah, they're-
grasping or
they're trying
continuing to
blame
try.
something, people will do it. But they did try. Far Cry
Yes.
5 had their multiplayer online thing. I don't think it worked out too well because the servers closed.
Far Cry isn't a big enough name.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I would just say its
Yeah, no,
gunplay.
it's
Its
huge.
gunplay isn't that great, to be honest. I wouldn't
That-
want. I wouldn't want to
that-
spend hours in a multiplayer Far Cry shooting people. I would much
Well,
rather
that's
play.
exactly
like,
COD.
Yes.
You would rather fight with yeah. If we're talking about shooting, you want to go to COD.
Right.
If you're talking about climbing, I wouldn't mind being Assassin's Creed or hand-to-hand
Right.
combat with the Valhalla. They're blaming us for not spending money when they're not.
They're not
Well,
making
they're
it.
not-
They're not
yeah, I
making
get
games for us to want to spend money on.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah,
Well,
I'll
I
spend
get-
70 hours, 100 hours on the next Assassin's Creed game, but give me more multiplayer. I would love to be an assassin, play an assassin game. Like, come on.
Do you guys remember that game, the one from years ago, the Assassin's Creed that had a multiplayer in it? I forget what it was called, but it had like up to 4 players, and each of you were like a specific class. Like you could have one of you be like the healer, one of you could be like a dual wielding axe wielder, and you guys worked together to complete missions together. I forget what it was called, but apparently it flopped, and the idea didn't go any further than that, and it never made one again. I missed that. That game was so good to me. I wished it would make it again. To be honest.
See, here's the thing. When a game flops, yes, the individual can like it, but if the mass majority of people don't like it, you're not gonna get it because, quite honestly, in games like Far Cry, I want to play by myself. Yeah, it'd be cool to
Right. Well,
like screw around for 5 minutes, but
okay, but I just want to clarify that game that I'm talking about, you could play it single player. You could still play it as an Assassin's Creed game. It was still technically an Assassin's Creed game that you could play single player. I just like the fact that they allowed you to play co-op with up to 4 other people, or sorry, up to 3 other people. Rather, instead of
Nate,
4
what you're
total.
doing is, yeah, like it'd be hard to coordinate all that, especially if it was like randoms.
Yeah, it would, but at the same time, the self-made cinematics would be amazing, where you assassinate 4 targets at a time.
And we did.
In
I played it with a friend.
sequence,
It was great.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wouldn't be awesome, like final product with like the cool cutscenes and all that, but I'm saying from a logistics standpoint, how many people have access to play with 4 people that they
Well-
can talk to and coordinate with at a time, and then not have chat problems with people being
Well, but I mean that
racist
happens all
and
the time
stuff,
in
you
every
know.
like battle royale / multiplayer game.
exactly.
Like that's not an excuse to like not
It's-
make it though.
It's not an excuse to not make it, but they did make it. To your point, they made the game and it flopped. So why would you try to make a game again after it flopped?
well,
You're not going to.
No, I guess. I feel like it would be. It's one of those things where you have to learn from your mistakes and try again. At least that's what I would try. I would be like, okay, what went wrong with it? Why wasn't it? Was it marketing? Did we not market it well enough? Did people just not know about it? Were the servers bad? Were people lagging? Like, what was going on with it? And that's where you fix those problems, because the game, as far as I remember, had a general consensus of the game is good, but it has serious problems. Like, you know what I mean? And if I remember correctly, I believe it was mostly server issues, to be quite honest, if I remember correctly. Because when I was playing with my friends years ago, you would like lag all over the map. Like you would try to go for like a stealth kill together, like time it right, but like his connection was slightly worse than yours. So then like his would happen after, but the NPCs wouldn't get that notification. So then like they would go on alarm, and the entire place would go on alarm, and you're like, like
Yeah, you're
So-
talking. You're talking like host based
yes.
servers. So yeah, you would have that. Yeah,
Right.
you would have that. I think the game talking about Assassin's Creed 2 with the multiplayer.
No, it
And-
wasn't 2. No, it was like
No.
it was like a side one. Like hold, I'll look it up. Continue talking amongst yourselves. Should we continue talking about this article more about Ubisoft canceling more games or
I mean, I
Unity?
think
It was called Unity, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Unity.
yeah, I remember.
I think it's just. I think they're trying to get out of not being able to make the games either on time, or they just don't want to take a risk with it, because like it said, like they had poor performance for their less popular mainstream games like their Rabbids and Just Dance.
Right.
So it could just be they're no longer gonna try as hard with
Well, that's
stuff.
okay. If you're talking about Just Dance, like come on, that should have died off with Guitar Hero and Rock Band.
I
like
hate you
it,
so much for saying that. Guitar Hero was amazing.
it was.
Yeah,
It was, but it died. It was a hit. It lasted a couple years. It went away. Just Dance of all people, of all
Things.
games
Right.
should have left too. Like that's a party game. That's not a
Well,
hey,
that's-
let's load up together and dance on a mat. Like
Right.
that's
Well, exactly. Well, Just Dance is for like the people who own
Besides.
Switches and need like a party game.
yeah, but
just
that's stuff you
fun.
roll out for kids and that. Like once once in a while around Christmas, like here, let's throw that out for sale. Don't try to make a living off it. Like
yeah, that's
there's
true. I can't imagine they make a lot of money off the Just Dance universe / games. I can't imagine it's that.
well, no,
much.
your rolling side. It should be like a all hits thing that comes out once a year, where you get all of the 2023 songs, and you get as many rights as you can. And you throw it in with your mat and sell it for Christmas
Right.
or
That's what
whatever
they do.
date. It should be all in abundance.
Me-
Yeah,
Megan,
I
well-
mean, some people will use it as an exercise thing.
Sure,
Zumba.
I guess, but do you think there's enough people using it as an exercise thing for them to make any kind of
No.
money on it to keep it going?
No. But
we
some
Fit
people
failed
do.
for a reason.
You mean those boards that I bought 15 years ago that I only
Yes.
used once?
Yes, that we all bought.
It's like Ring Fit.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Megan bought a Ring Fit. She played it twice.
No, you bought it.
I bought it. I bought it because you said you wanted it. Don't even.
Although
Yes.
to be fair, those were fairly successful.
Yeah.
That one was kind of.
They fucking
Well,
hurt.
Yeah, I mean, they all made their bank off, especially We Fit.
Right.
We all know they launched it with the Wii, but yeah, it's a dying avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Should they 100% cut the ties with development? I don't think so.
I just think they need to stop. Like, have you guys? Okay, can we talk about Skull and Bones, because I've been wanting to talk about this game for a little while now. Have you guys seen the videos on this?
What the hell is it?
Okay, wow, that was aggressive. You were so aggressive.
I thought when you can we talk about Skull and Bones? I was like, we're gonna talk about dead people?
No, what?
Like that's what I thought. Okay, I'm into
Okay.
crime. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
Wow.
sorry. My mind went there.
Okay, well, Carnage, have you heard anything about Skull and Bones?
A little.
Okay, so it's a pirate game where you actually
Yeah.
you don't even get to play as a pirate. It's all based off of your ship, and it's really lame looking. And I don't know why they spent like $300 million on this stupid game. They've been developing it for like 9 years now, 10 years. And basically it's a pirate game where you literally do everything from your ship. Like you command everybody in your ship to shoot cannons in a specific direction. When you like drive your ship, when you sail your ship up to an island, you activate a basically like you send your little mini, your crewmates onto the island, and it like shows them getting off the ship to like go pillage it or whatever. But like you yourself don't leave the ship. Like you physically just stay on the ship, and everything's like automated. It looks so stupid to me. It's like, why would you want to play this? It's not why you play a pirate game. You play a pirate game to be a pirate, to actually do the things. Like, I don't understand, man.
Sounds like a baby version of a Sea of Thieves.
I was just gonna say it is a unasked for spin-off of Sea of Thieves, and sounds like Microsoft might have a lawsuit of their own to go about.
You think so? Nah, I don't think you can. I don't think you can.
Over. I'm just making a point of
right.
You're like what 3, 4? How long is Sea of Thieves? 2018. So you're coming out with a pirate game. What? Going on 5 years after Sea of Thieves?
Yeah.
Which still has a strong community as far as I know. With this half-ass pirate pillaging game.
It looks so bad. Yeah.
Ubisoft is gonna just have more stories come the end of 2023. 24. I guess is being released.
Skull and Bones was announced at E3 2017, by the way. So just so you guys know.
What?
Oh, okay. So Microsoft really fucking put the foot down on them. Wow.
Why did I? Okay.
So Skull and Bones has reportedly already cost Ubisoft $120 million, and that price tag is only going to increase from here. This article was written on July 20 of 2021. And the game's not even out yet, by the way, and it's already 2023, just to let you guys know. So much more money than that probably now. And there are currently 400 people working on it as of 2019.
Yeah.
So
I'm just gonna say, if Meta can't pull it off, like with $1 billion trying to make something, come on, guys, it's not gonna work.
I think if they would have released before Sea of Thieves, I think they would have had
a chance,
some sort of a shot.
Right.
But now it feels like they have a burden that they had to continuously carry forward. Now we're talking 5 years now, and the reason the price is going to keep going is one, all consoles and graphics are continuously being upgraded. We're now into the 4000 series for the GPUs for NVIDIA. We got the Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, not
the Switch OLED, but it's not more powerful.
Yeah, but they're continuously, they probably make money off the Switch if they just went that route.
The Steam Deck, you have all these new competitors coming in.
Yeah, they're continuously forced, because they want to pump this game out and get their money back. They're continuously forced to remaster, quote unquote, within development to make it playable on all consoles and platforms. So I think they really shot themselves in the foot here.
They really did, and I just think there's certain games that they're working on that I've seen like snippets of that I think those should be the ones that they cancel, not the ones that they've been canceling. I don't know what their thought process is here, to be honest. Like them and Activision Blizzard, I don't understand the direction those two companies are going in. It's mind-boggling to me.
Well, yeah,
I mean, for some things, just go the way of the dodo. Like look at Atari and Sega. Yeah, they're consoles. They just, after so long of trying, they just stopped.
Right.
We're getting to the point where a lot of things everyone had is dying off again,
right?
And everything, there's going to be new things that come up for the next generation, but it just there's times where lots of things have to die, roll over, and new things come about,
take its place. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Okay, so Colin, would you like to move on to this last article? I think this will be our last one before we move on to our games we've been playing. Would you like to talk about Valve's entire asset repository being leaked online, including Team Fortress 2 and Half-Life, the entire Half-Life series?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, as y'all know, I very much support TF2, but as this article states, in 2016, Valve's asset repositories were leaked. Someone was able to get all the sources for Portal, CS Source, Team Fortress 2, Day of Defeat, Half-Life 2 and Half-Life 2 multiplayer. All that.
Just to clarify, you said as of 2016. I think we should clarify that the
No, I said it was stolen. It was leaked in 2016. I was getting to the point where, and they posted all of it in
just recently. Yeah, like
it was posted just recently with at minimum 61 gigabytes from just Team Fortress 2 alone.
Yes.
Showing lots of unreleased items and features. Yeah. Right. So this is both a big thing and not as big as a problem because again, it was taken in 2016. So lots of things have changed in certain things. So it's not as useful, but it is cool to see what could have been in a possible update in the past.
Right. I just would like to say that I thought it was very chuckle-worthy, the comments that the leakers wrote on Discord about, because I guess he was holding these assets for all of these games up until recently. Obviously, he's been holding them since 2016. He wrote, quote, "I don't care anymore," said the leaker, or end quote, said the leaker on Discord. Quote, "I also did my toying around with it for a few years. I did not upload it because I was threatened every time I was going to," end quote. And then it says here in the article, no one knows who or why he was getting, or who or by whom or why he was getting threatened. But the leaker Wanderer, I guess is his Discord name, took the Discord and uploaded the huge files, which included 61 gigabytes of Team Fortress 2 assets alone. That's insane to me that he's been holding on to it for this long. And he basically just said, screw it, I don't care anymore, and just tossed it online. Like,
I mean, I doubt he's going to get in any legal trouble because because again, it's not like the games; it's just the assets, which it is a problem. But what are people really going to do with games that were made 10+ years ago?
It's all Source Engine stuff, right? Source Engine 2 or whatever.
No, this is all Source stuff. Like we've moved on to Source Engine 2 now. We're getting into.
Gotcha.
That new update, so
yeah, that's the one that Half-Life Alyx, the VR game, was made on, right? Source Engine 2.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, this is insane. So you don't think this is that big of a deal, though? I feel as though this could be
it could be a huge deal, but I mean, I don't know what people can do with this. I mean, Source, the video making people, are going to be thrilled with lots of new items they can put in their videos, but like.
SFM, I believe, Source Filmmaker.
SFM, Source Filmmaker, yeah. But like, what else are you gonna do with the assets? I mean, these are probably all either copyrighted or locked down under something, so you can't really use them in a game.
Yeah, I mean legally, right? I mean, unless they made like a free to play or something, they made no monetary anything off of it. They probably could get away with making something.
Maybe, but like even so, like, and what are they gonna, like, they're not gonna just put a bunch of just random stuff that looks like TF2. You're not gonna walk into a COD lobby and see someone just wearing one of the present hats. Or like a top hat from TF2.
That would be amazing. I would love that. It would be,
but but like, it's just not gonna happen.
No, you're right. Okay, so you don't consider it a big deal. I feel as though the fact that it happened to begin with is kind of the part that's a big deal. Is like, how did they acquire these? Because there's no details in this article as to how leaker what's his face here said that he got the files. So I'm curious as to if he's ever gonna spill those details, because this seems like a huge security risk for Valve as a whole. Like the fact that they were so easily obtained. I hope they figure out how it was done, because if this happens again with one of their future games, I can tell you right now that Valve is going to basically just like lock up shop, and they're not going to develop anything. They're going to be like, all right, you know what? You guys want to ruin everything for yourselves? Screw it. We're just going to not make anything anymore. Like, because they basically already did that with Half-Life 3. Like years ago, they basically said, you know, you guys keep asking us, it's going to make us not want to make it anymore. And they essentially said, like, we're not going to try to outdo ourselves by making the next best Half-Life and then have you guys, you know, basically shit on it, you know, because it's not going to be as good as the previous two.
Yeah, because people did that with Half-Life 2, and I believe they changed, like, the entire game from what it was. Like, it was leaked, and people were mad with how incomplete it was.
Yeah, exactly. So they basically, and then they basically, because of that whole situation, the whole controversy of Half-Life 2 Episode 2, I believe is what it was. They essentially said, nope, we're going back into our turtle shell. Goodbye. We're not going to make any more Half-Lives. And then, 10 years, 12 years later, Half-Life Alyx came out. And then people threw a big hissy fit about it at first. They were like, oh, we're supposed to release a legitimate successor to Half-Life 2 Episode 2. What is this crap? And then people actually played it.
For your sins.
Yeah, Half-Life Alyx was amazing, by the way.
No, I was gonna say punishment for your sins. You don't get a sequel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, you want a sequel, do you? Okay, well, no.
Oh, sorry. We thought you meant prequel. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to state, by the way.
translation.
Yeah, right. I just want to state for the record that Half-Life Alyx is an amazing game. If you have a VR headset, I would totally suggest you buying one. I don't know if it's on Quest or not. It might be an
Did you even finish it?
exclusive. I did not because I got to a part where I don't do well with VR horror games. Okay, they scared the crap out of me. And that game turns into a horror game halfway through, and I had to stop because I almost wet myself. Like, there's this giant creature that, like, chases you down, and in VR, it is scary as... So...
I mean, yeah.
Big chicken.
I'm a big baby.
So do y'all have... Carnage, do you have anything to say about this?
No, because it's TF2 related.
He's like, nope, don't
There
care.
we go.
It's a leak that happened 10 years ago.
No, it didn't. It happened recently. The files were grabbed.
I'm talking about the files were grabbed. Like,
Yeah, like when we say it was leaked 10 years ago, we're talking about it was stolen.
It could have been leaked 10 years
The
ago.
entire
Not
time,
even 10
yes.
years, but talking about 7 years ago. It I don't know. It seems irrelevant at this point
Yeah.
to me. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Did you guys want to move on to the games we've played recently section?
Sure,
So
we can.
So I just wanted to start off. I don't know if you guys have played anything, Colin, if you played any Switch games, or Carnage has played anything new. But my wife and I, Megan, we've played, me, her, and my younger brother, Josh, we played Dungeons of Sandaria, which is an early access, third-person, like D&D style dungeon crawler game. And you have different races and classes. So you have like a cleric and an old school D&D like cleric, and then there's the ranger, there's the rogue, there's a warrior, and I believe there's a barbarian. I'm not sure if there's a different. I think barbarian might just be the warrior, to be honest. But yeah, essentially there's 5 classes. One of them being like warlock, one of them is a warlock too. But you basically you go through this dungeon, and it's D&D style, as in like you get these spell slots. Like you get spell slots, and you have to like you can only use them so many times. And basically everything's on like a cooldown essentially. But the main issue I have with the game, okay, I just want to start off by saying the game has a great foundation. It's really, really good where it is right now. It's got a bunch of problems though, and if Megan would like to explain what happened to her when she played it, she might give more insight. But honey, are you there?
Yep.
Okay, would you like to talk about your experience with Dungeons of Sandaria?
I'm pissed.
Oh yeah?
Okay, so we were going through like this giant dungeon for the first part of the game.
How long did it take us? It was like an hour, right? Hour
Oh
and a
my
half?
god, like an hour two.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it was long.
It was
It
definitely
was
long.
very long.
Oh, there's-
Anyway,
There's no map in the game, by the way, as well. I just wanted to I wanted to say that there's no map. So that's probably why it took us so long, because we literally didn't know where we were, and we kept having to try to find the next pathway.
it was a maze.
It was a maze. There's no map.
Anyway, at the end of it, we all went back to town because we did the quest that we were supposed to do.
Beat the boss at the end.
Beat the boss. We exchanged some items that we could have used, or what the other player could use. Once we got back to town, I had nothing.
She literally lost everything.
Everything, all my money, all my items, all my everything. I was back to a freaking beginner.
She might as well have been a level 1 without anything. However, the game did gracefully let her keep her experience and her current level. But it literally got rid of all of her equipped items, all of the items she had picked up during the adventure. Yeah, so it was a little irritating. I think after that point, we basically said screw it, because I told her to restart. We were going to keep playing after that, but I was like, okay, try restarting your game, and then seeing if that fixes the problem. So she shut the game off, restarted it, rejoined my multiplayer server/world. Still nothing. She still had all of her experience and her levels, but she'd lost all of her items. She literally had the default weapon equipped with no armor, nothing. So. Yeah, that was a little irritating, I would say. Me and my brother were fine, though. We didn't lose anything. I'm not sure what caused her to lose everything. So
maybe it was server overload or something.
I have no idea.
Is the game in development?
It is. It is early access.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think you can't truly. You can be mad about it. I would be mad about it. Like, I'm mad at when my games or my saves are lost. But also you have to. You kind of accept the fact that something might go wrong when you play in development game.
But I mean, like, a checkpoint system would have fixed this. Like, seriously, like a checkpoint system that pings what you have equipped at that point in time. Like just make 3 checkpoints about the dungeon. Like the 1/3 of the dungeon, the 2/3, and then the 3, like right before the boss fight. You get pinged in checkpoints, and it saves your progress / whatever you have in your character. Like that's what it needs to have. It needs to have something to prevent this from happening, because
I mean, for all we know, it is going to. It just hasn't been developed yet.
And I'm okay with like giving leeway to early access games, but when you lose an hour and a half / 2 hours of hard work, and I'm not just saying that to be facetious. I'm saying like the game was actually really difficult. Like we died a lot. Like that game is hard.
I mean, no, I get it. I mean, I get it.
Just like losing 2 hours of work, man. It's not. I'm not gonna like give you a slap on the wrist for that. That should not be happening. This game should be in a state where those things don't happen. Like, sure, it might not have the content because it's early access, and I'm okay with minor visual bugs, which we did have some of those too, which I'm fine with those. Like, we had one where one of the bosses we killed, their body like ragdolled on the floor, and apparently for whatever reason they're the thing where because the game is based on D&D, so everything's got like aggro. So like if you do enough damage, the enemies target you. So like they were targeting me as the cleric because I was doing ridiculous amounts of burst damage with my holy spells. And one of the bosses was targeting me before we killed it, and right when we killed it, its ragdoll's body was still focused on me. So whenever I walked around, like even when I walked behind walls, its head would like turn 360 degrees on its ragdolled body and like look at me through walls and stuff. Like
that was a vampire.
That more funny. That just sounds more funny.
That is hilarious. I was okay with that. Like that's the kind of bugs that I'm like, that's funny. This is hilarious. Like
that boss chased me around until we killed it, and then it was like, I am after you.
Literally, Megan was like screaming as she was running around the room because she's a ranger and she has very weak health, and I was trying to heal her, and the game is like hardcore in the terms of like I have to literally aim my cursor directly at you to heal you, and I was trying to like heal her because she wasn't within my radius, and it's only up to like 5 meters. Like I can only heal somebody that I'm specifically aiming at within 5 meters of myself, so I had to like run with her beside her to heal her. And then after a while I was like, you know what, screw this, so I started launching spells at the boss, and then they aggroed me. The game was fun. It was hard. I enjoyed it. I just didn't like the fact that Megan lost everything because that was like an hour and a half, 2 hours down the drain. Like I said, though, the foundation is there. I recommend it later. I would recommend not buying it now. I'd recommend maybe like 6 months from now, maybe a year from now, whenever they get most of these big bugs kinked out. But
what stage did you say it was in?
It was still in the
Alpha,
first stage.
beta?
I would consider it an alpha at this point. If it's deleting people's progress, that's. No.
I mean, I get you, man.
It sounds like it should have been like a closed early access,
agreed.
Like a few games we play, like Evil, and that.
Yes.
It should have been limited access. Those are bugs that you should have worked out before you start charging people to play it.
Agreed.
Yeah. I lost everything, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm not going through that shit again.
Yeah, see, I have
that's just it.
I have the same sentiment as Megan. I played Horizon West, the West, the
Forbidden
new one.
West.
Forbidden West,
the sequel to Zero Dawn.
Yeah, and at no fault of the game. One person in my family didn't realize that same profiles didn't have multiple saves.
Oh no!
Got rid of like 7 hours of my gameplay.
Oh, it could have been way worse, but still.
I played 16 hours. So
Oh.
so like it was this. I haven't played the game. I just watched the lore thing, but I get it. Losing your save sucks.
It is the worst.
It is.
Especially in that game because like I said, it's hardcore. Like the leveling was a little slow, to be honest. I was actually really upset with how slow the leveling was. Oh, there was one other thing I would like to complain about. The prices of the items at the main town hub were stupid. Like stupid. Like it was like, okay, not even joking. Like you can order like soups and stuff from the local like tavern to give you like buffs. They give you like, you know, +5 strength for 20 minutes or whatever. They were no joke, like 10 gold a piece. And do you want to know how many
is gold? Like what is the?
Do you want to know?
Give us context for gold.
I was gonna say, do you want to know how much gold we got while in the dungeon after an hour and a half / 2 hours? 15.
How good were the buffs though?
Literally like +5 strength for 20 minutes. I believe most of them were like 15-20 minute buffs, and the dungeons take 2 hours. So yeah, I was a little upset. And like health potions were about the same price per one. They were like 10 to 12 gold per bottle of health potion.
Yeah, that definitely needs to be. I don't think it should be gold. I think it should be like another
silver. Yeah, it should be the next tier down.
Let's not also forget that the merchants, when you go back to town, they are expensive.
I literally was just talking about that.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. We were
Sorry, I thought you would talk. I just heard you say like with the boss at the end of it, you get like 5 gold or whatever, 15. I did not hear you say anything about the merchants.
No, I was talking about the prices because, like, so I don't know how much gold you had because you lost everything. But so the gold we got was from also. I actually didn't realize you can break down weapons and armor because like there's different sections of the dungeon. You find like blacksmiths that are like neutral that like don't really care. Like they're technically working for the cultists that you're killing throughout the dungeon, but they're like neutral. They don't care. Yeah. Right. So you go up to them and you sell them stuff, or they can break down stuff for you into like parts, like so you can craft your own armor. And I was selling everything. Like I didn't realize you could break them down until like the third, like almost right before the boss dungeon.
The boss, yeah.
Right. So I was selling everything, and like I said, whenever I got out of the dungeon, I had like 15 gold. So I was selling everything between like the 3 blacksmiths we found intermittently throughout the dungeon.
How much silver did you have? Like other forms of currency?
As far as I don't know, it was like 15 gold, 28 silver, or something like that. I don't actually know the silver amount.
It's very low.
It was very small. I was a little upset because the time investment does not correlate with the reward. Like the rewards didn't match what I was getting. Like
that does sound like an alpha type issue.
Yes.
Yes. I don't like the fact that like. When the enemies drop something, you just get it. Like, it doesn't matter what your character is, like what class you are, you get whatever they hand to you, a staff or a bow or whatever.
Well,
it doesn't cooperate with your class.
Correlate? You mean correlate?
Yes.
But okay, so
that word.
Well, so just 2 things to clarify. One, the game, because we were in a server with 3 people total, me, my brother, and Megan. We had it on round robin for the loot, so whenever an item was picked up, it would literally instantaneously teleport to whoever the next person within that round robin's inventory. So, like whether it was meant for that class or not, it was going to go to that person. So, just to clarify that. And second of all, technically, you can equip whatever the hell you want. Like my cleric, I didn't have to use a shield and mace, which is the normal, or even a hammer. I didn't have to use like a shield or hammer or mace because that's what like normal D&D clerics use as weapons. I could literally use a staff. Like I grabbed a staff at one point, equipped it, and was using it. The only difference is that some of the abilities are weapon dependent. So when I was using a staff, there was an ability that I had, like Holy Hammer Strike or something. Like I couldn't use it because I needed a physical hammer. Like, and that makes sense. So technically, you could wear whatever you want. You can use whatever you want. When you change your armor value, what's up?
Can you drop items?
Yeah. We were doing it all the time. We were taking short breaks every like big boss fight. Like there were like mini bosses up until the end boss. Every like big like mini boss fight, we would like spend like 5 or 6 minutes to like drop shit. Be like, hey, do you guys need this? Do you need this? And then just like drop shit on the ground. So I think we were actually trading them, weren't we, honey? We were doing like trades.
Yeah, we were trading.
Yeah, it was a trading window. Like you would walk up to the person and say, hey, click this button to trade with so and so. So yeah, we were trading items with each other.
I Yeah.
The game, like I said, the game definitely needs work. I wouldn't recommend anyone listening to buy it right now. I would wait at least a year. I would wait at least a year because right now it's rough around the edges. The foundation though, if you like D&D, like D&D like games like RPGs, I definitely think the foundation is there, and I do believe that it will get better. And I am very
Definitely has
optimistic.
potential.
What's that?
I said it definitely has potential.
Oh, yeah, agreed. I definitely think its potential is very high. It's got a very high potential. It's going to be a great RPG one day. I would say just give it a year, year and a half, maybe even 2
You
years.
also move very fast.
Oh, your character? Yeah, the character's
Yeah.
speed is a bit. I'm not saying that we should be slow because the dungeon is freaking massive. So I'm actually glad we move as fast as we do. But I just wanted to state one last thing before we stop and move on to another person. But the dodge rolls are dodge roll / blocking seems extremely pointless. Well, dodge roll not necessarily. Dodge rolls actually are extremely important and they are helpful in like dodging trap spikes and stuff. But
Except for the person who doesn't learn how to dodge.
Okay. And like blocking seems pointless because like there's no rhythm to the NPC's attacks. So like even if you commit, it's like Dark Souls. When you commit to an animation for a melee attack, by the time you get out of that animation to block the next NPC attack, there is no rhythm to their attacks. So like you can just block and then miss that moment, and then you can't just hold block either. By the way, your block is an animation. So like you can tap your block button, and it's like a 1.5 second animation of you blocking, and then you stop, and you can hold it all you want, but you'd have to reinitiate the block again to like do the animation again. So that's another thing I wish they would work on. The blocking is completely pointless. Like I literally didn't bother blocking. I was just healing the entire time. So, but yeah,
I ran.
Yeah. What were you saying, Colin?
I was gonna say, well, now that we're done with the rant about D&D, Carnage, did you have any games you played recently?
Yeah. I mean, play a lot of games, but
anything?
well, yes. Last night, or I guess this morning, Meg and I finally completed Grounded.
Oh yes, the Honey I Shrunk the Kids game.
Yeah, Grounded, that one.
Well, I'm just stating that for the listeners because they might not know what the word grounded means. So
I've been grounded.
Yeah, well,
it's
we've talked about it before. If you guys want to go listen. Now, this game is very hard, very fun, and terrifying all at the same time.
all those spiders though.
yes.
It took Megan and I, to be honest, we had to lower the difficulty for the last 2 stages of the game because unless you're soloing, you need more than 2 players on any difficulty higher than easy in this Grounded, at least in my opinion.
Which shouldn't be a thing. I feel like you should be able to solo in normal difficulty. That's ridiculous.
Well, you can. If you're playing the actual solo mode, you can do it quite easily.
Oh.
The stages aren't as severe. When Megan and I were playing in the multiplayer, the Spectre fight and the last big battle royale
Oh my god.
was too much for 2 players because you have to be coordinated on healing and ads.
Are you saying the multiplier for enemies difficulty / health gain with each additional player is too much? Do you think it's too high?
Yeah, but well, I'm saying is that you need a party of at least 3 for the ending. If you're not on easy difficulty,
right?
Because of the stages of ads and the bosses and the areas that the objectives you have to save, it's just too difficult. It's there's no way. You would have to grind so hard to have absolutely maxed out weapons and gears and
heal bosses.
Yeah, even no, you need like better health. All I'm saying is it's very difficult at the end. We had to lower it, but it was an awesome ending.
It was.
The ending was us trying to get big, so we had to fight off like a horde of every insect you go against.
Except for
spiders. All at once.
Even the Black Widows?
No, except for spiders.
Yeah,
no spiders.
except for the spiders.
I was gonna say that would be almost impossible.
But it's the mosquitoes, the black ox beetles, the
ladybirds,
bearders, mosquitoes, ants.
All of them.
And it was hard.
Yes.
It was
the
hard. And
pilot.
even on easy, we had to do it twice because it just
Wow.
you had to build walls around these structures to protect.
Right,
And
defend.
And there's 3 of them. There's 3 of them.
yeah, exactly. There's 3 of them. So if you're on a harder difficulty, man,
And
we
you
couldn't do it. Halfway through, I was like, Megan, we gotta stop. Throw this shit on easy. Like we spent 5 hours trying to complete this goddamn
Oh
game.
wow,
We
that's crazy.
just
So
yeah, it was rolling at 5 in the morning. It's like, hey, I gotta go to bed here. Like,
do you think the effort was worth it when you beat it? Do you guys think it was worth the effort of spending
No.
that much time?
no, the
No.
ending was okay, but they could have gave you a lot better outro. A lot better.
Okay. Was
It
it
was
just like a
cool.
3-second snippet of like they lived happily ever after?
Pretty much, and we got
Yeah.
the better ending. I made sure we got the better one.
Oh, there were multiple endings.
Yeah, there's 2 endings, and
Okay.
based on you had to bring when you get the head of Tully. If you don't bring him to the Mojo Jojo Castle, you get the worst ending where Schmechter gets the final say in the end cinematic
Oh.
scenes.
Okay.
But if you do it the way we did, you get the one where Tully gets the grace, but he magically gets his body back. He's perfect.
Yes.
Perfect health.
But he's
Yes, he's a
bodiless. What?
Yeah.
No, he's perfect health. He's back to
No.
like his age and everything, back with his family.
No, that's
And
not
it's
how that
like,
works.
How the fuck did that happen?
He's bodiless and he's like a giant balloon head inside of a glass jar.
He's amazing.
If you go through the lore, he would have had to use the kid's DNA or blood or something. Based on the lore of how the kids
Mhm.
didn't get the raisin effect,
Right, because they're young.
they would have had to use the kids to fix Tully. But they didn't tell that part. Like, that's the only logical thing, is they would have had to use...
So they skipped an important plot.
Yeah,
device.
they skipped something.
It would have been
Yeah.
way funnier to me if, because at one point in the game, to the listeners listening, at one point in the game, Tully, you come across one of Tully's failed experiments, which is like a giant humanoid mantis man, and he's like 9 feet tall in comparison to how tall you are in the game at that point in time, because you're shrunk, obviously. But like, so you have to fight this giant like 9 foot tall mantis man. And you listen to the audio logs, and Tully's like, "Oh, I created this thing so I could control it and transfer my consciousness over to its body." I would love if that had succeeded and he literally got embiggened, or unshrunk or whatever you want to call it, at the end of the game. And he was just like, there's like a ending scene cinematic of him being like, "Wife," and like he's a giant 9 foot tall mantis man.
I'm just gonna say Cave Johnson moment. If you know, you know. And anyway, continue.
Is that a Portal 2 reference?
It's a Portal 2 reference.
Nice.
No. Yeah. It at the end, like as much fun and the difficulty and everything you experienced for the entire game, the ending was very unrewarding.
Anticlimactic, you would say?
Yeah. Like it's like yeah, it is anticlimactic. You have this giant battle against all the insects, then you
Right.
go and you make yourself big. They don't even show the kids themselves getting bigger. They just do it for like a POV shot of you getting bigger.
Oh my god.
But nothing else. And they just flat out say like, yeah, so the FBI investigated, everything's fine now, we're
What?
okay, he's locked up.
Well, so
Yeah,
they pulled
and
they pulled the Fallout ending. They just like do a recap of what happens after the game, and then that's it.
Pretty much,
Apparently
yeah.
a really crappy version of that too, is what it sounds
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, it's terrible. And now that I think about it, I'm surprised I even had the motivation to get Megan to that part, knowing what the ending was. But
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you did though, because I would not be able to finish it without you. Because holy crap, that whole ending scene where you had to protect the 3 pink thingies.
You have to defend them at the same
Oh.
time or individually?
yeah. If you remember, Cyber, before you stopped playing, you and I first explored the Java machine.
Yes.
Cyber and I actually beat those mixer things. We were trying to break them.
Yes.
Turns out you got to protect them and repair them.
So you're saying we screwed ourselves over because if we would have gotten to the end, they would have been like 1 HP.
Yeah, we would have. So
That's hilarious.
And Wendell, I wish they gave him more power or something to like heal the players during the entire scene instead of shooting off freaking orbs. Because I felt like those orbs didn't do anything.
Oh, those electric balls that he does to like slightly defend you.
Yeah. Go ahead, Colin.
I was gonna say, I do have a question. Is this game fully released? Like they have said, other than maybe some new content.
Yeah.
Like this is it. Oh,
I don't know if they said they're not
Yeah.
going to release new content. I think they said they're going to keep updating it, but it's essentially 1.1, or 1.01.
So they're saying like other than maybe some new items, this is like how it's going to be.
Essentially, yes. This is the quote unquote full release base game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Then that's
It's
not
a
good ending.
It's a lot of fun, and I love it.
The premise is there. I do believe like DLC and additional updates would definitely make it way better. And that's what would bring me back to it is new stuff. Like new buildables, new weapons, new tiered armor. So
there was the Christmas one where we got stuff from Santa Claus.
Oh, did he like flew over your house or your
No, we planted a tree and presents just magically appeared.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
We got coal.
You guys were bad. How many innocent bugs did you guys kill?
I got 1,500 actually.
1,500 coal?
No, 1,500 bugs is what I killed. And believe it or not, I died like 57 times. Guess how much Megan died? Just guess.
All of 1,500
165.
No. It's emasculating. Let's put it that way.
What?
She got 47. 10 times less than me.
Oh my god.
Figure that shit out. You know how pissed off I was when I saw that after the credits?
Wait. I'm confused. She died 10 times less. She
Sorry,
died
10 amount less. Sorry, 10.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
10 deaths less.
What you did there is you added like a zero to your number at the end.
You know, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know why you said it's emasculating. She just sits inside all the time.
I do have a question.
No, I didn't. I went out.
How many kills did she get? How many kills did she get?
I didn't ask that part. I alt F4'd by that point.
he's like, I'm done. I'm done.
Well, I just said, yeah, I did a lot of the grunt work. It's like, oh, how many times did you die?
That's funny as hell.
47. Oh, what? I was expecting, I was like, I had a chip on my shoulder, thinking she's going to say like 100 or something. No.
Oh my god.
No, I did go out and do stuff. I collected supplies. I collected a lot of grass, which we cleared out the one area in front of the tree, and the grass never grew back. By the way, Jordan.
That's lame.
And so there was like a whole clearing of just non-grass.
That's one of the things I think I hated the most about the game was like the farming mechanic. It's really lame. Like it's really bad. Like the one plot like plots that you put down, and you can only put like one grass blade seed in there or whatever, one grass blade piece, and you get like it's so lame. Like, just allow me to make a giant farm plot land. Like, I want to be able to make an entire field of grass blades or something. Or like, grass blades shouldn't even need plots to begin with. Just let me put them back into the freaking ground that I broke them from originally. Like, it's so.
Nah, that's too easy.
It's so lame. Like, I hate. Oh. God,
Yeah, I mean,
so
at the end of the day, at the game, you're supposed to get yourself home. You're not supposed to make yourself a house and nestle.
I want to stay there forever, but I don't really care.
You know what we should do?
I mean, I loved the house that we had.
What were you gonna say, Colin?
They should add like a thing. If you beat the game, the machine now fully works, and you can just every time you go into your saved world, and it just shows a POV of you shrinking back down to your house, so you can
Oh, I see. Yeah.
like just like a fun little thing. If you beat the game, like you've mastered like the world around you, now you can go just screw around.
That would be really cool.
whatever.
I mean, that would be cool,
like a new
like,
game plus or something.
Yeah, like explore your own back of the house,
Well,
not
they did-
Wendell's.
Yeah, the end cutscene, they did say that the kids had a hard time adjusting to the real world again. They did throw that little snippet in there.
Was that a plot device to insinuate a sequel?
I don't know if they said if they do a sequel and send the same kids, make us believe that these 4 teenagers want to go back to the life of fighting off freaking wolf spiders for their
it has a little mini cutscene of them like graduating, and then it's like skips forward in time like a couple weeks, and then their parents are like, so what do you want to do for college? And they're like, we don't. All four of them say the same thing, we don't want college, in unison, and then they go back to the backyard and shriek again.
Well, they would raise it at that point.
You think so? At 18?
They'd be too old. They'd be too old.
Yeah.
But
I just loved it. It's a good game overall.
it's a great game made by a small development team.
Obsidian? I wouldn't consider them small. They made New Vegas. They're definitely not small.
Well,
What's New Vegas?
Fallout New Vegas.
Oh,
They do one thing and they do it right.
Yeah,
so.
it's true. They do.
This is a unique game, okay?
It is.
To me, this Grounded isn't a unique game where you got shrunken down and you have to survive in a backyard full of dangerous insects.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, unless you buy it on PC, you can play it on Game Pass for free if you have a Game Pass subscription.
Yep, I do believe it's going to be on there permanently.
It will be. They're actually up here in Canada. They're advertising alongside your Mountain Dew.
Hell yeah!
The Grounded, Game Pass, and Mountain Dew.
Is Obsidian owned by Microsoft? Do they own them now?
I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Probably.
I don't keep up with the gaming lingo.
As of November 2018, it was announced that the studio has been acquired by Microsoft and became part of Microsoft Studios. So yes, any game that Obsidian makes, they will be permanently on Game Pass. So that's cool.
Well, good for them.
Yeah.
So, anyways, wrap it up. Overall, I give, because of the ending, Grounded, 9.8 out of 10.
The 0.2 minus for the crap ending.
I have to. Anybody listening, and Megan saw it for herself. Fight the damn mantis and get the armor, because your speed it's faster than a zip line unless you have a really high zip line.
Carnage is super fast.
Yeah,
Holy
you can
shit.
scale the map very easily, and you have to at the ending.
Insane. So you're like super jumping around like Superman.
Oh yeah, you should.
Oh yeah, Carnage was like.
If you played with us, you would see it could almost jump the pond.
Oh my god.
Carnage was like from point A to point B within like 2.7 seconds.
Berry bush to the tree would take me maybe 15 seconds real time.
I'm gonna start calling you Carnage Ferrari.
Yeah.
Megan, what do you give it out of 10? What are your thoughts?
I want to say maybe a 9.5.
Okay, where's your 0.5 coming from?
Wendell.
Wendell! Damn you, Wendell!
Wendell needs to be better. Okay, he could be more helpful to the players by either healing or attacking more.
Wendell is Tully, correct? Wendell Tully.
Yes.
Is the head / doctor.
Yes, he's the raisin.
The raisin head.
Well, I don't think he could heal because he couldn't save himself.
Yeah, true.
Well, no, but he needs to have something more than just. And he's annoying. Oh my god, I could devour a billy hog right now or something like that. I don't know. It's annoying.
How many times does he say it? I can't imagine it's that often.
Oh my god.
It's very frequently, or he'll say, "Oh, that's interesting." But we also kept him hostage at our base far too longer than we should have. Like we rushed to find him and release him.
Right.
Instead of ending the game right away, we said, "No, we're gonna scavenge." So he's always at our base, waiting for us to carry on, right? So yeah, we listened to him.
Oh
yeah, and then towards the end though, I took him to Schmechter's castle in Mojo Jojo, and I just left him there.
he's like, you and Schmechter are best buds now. Just sit here and talk amongst yourselves.
Stay here until we get back from this whole spiel.
Right. Colin.
Trying if he can beat him and everything.
Right,
and then I took him to that.
All right, so you guys give your thoughts on Grounded. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Colin, do you have any games you'd like to talk about? Switch or PlayStation or any console games you may have played?
I have recently played it's a really good game, Guardians of the Galaxy, made by Square Enix.
Oh, is that the turn-based one?
No, it's not turn-based.
It's not turn-based. Is it like the Tales from the Borderlands or Is it that like is it like a not turn based, but is it like a narrative driven action game? I guess is what you would call it.
It's very linear. There is no other endings. Like, you can get items that'll allow different dialogue options on the main ship, but that's about as far as changes go. You can affect things in certain ways, like at one point in the game you get caught at the very beginning. You get caught after going into an illegal no-go zone, and you have the option of hiding an animal that you took from the zone, or parts for like very illegal parts.
Very illegal.
Yes, so I chose to hide the parts, and what ended up happening is during one of the fight scenes near the end of the game, not at middle and end, you get a huge upgrade to your ship that does like lock-on missiles towards things, and it's near one shot.
Oh wow, so it's super strong.
It's super good so things affect what happens, but it's a very, very good game in my opinion. I like the combat and whatnot.
I was gonna say, how's the difficulty overall? Was it too hard at the beginning, then became way too easy after the missiles, or was it like just good overall?
It was good it just depends on your management, because the way you fight is you play as Star-Lord, the leader, or whatever you consider him in that group.
Self-proclaimed leader?
The self-proclaimed leader, yeah. But so you're fighting whatever enemies are there, and as time goes on, after like your entire crew starts fighting, you use your D-pad to select people, and they will do like a power. So if you click right on your D-pad, that goes over to like Rocket, and then if you press right again, he'll do an attack where he throws a grenade or something, like stuff like that. And over time, the more you level your character, you get points, which go into unlocking more powers for each of the people.
Are those points spread apart between the characters, or so like let's say you get 10 points, can you put 1 point in each of them, or can you put them all into Star-Lord?
You can put them all into Star-Lord. So let's say throughout you don't spend any points, and at one point you now have 10 levels. You're level 10, so you have 10 of those reward points. You can put all the points into one character's abilities, but you can spread them out if you want.
Okay, gotcha.
But there's only 3 abilities per character. You're given 1 at the beginning just so they are useful. And then you get points that you can do. So there's 3 levels, you can get them each costing 1 more point than the other. So there's 1.
Is there enough ability awards to max out
at the end of the game?
Every so you can get every ability
till the end of the game, because yes.
Okay. So it doesn't really matter how you spread them apart, because eventually you'll just have everybody.
I don't mind that in certain games where you like to max out characters, see what you could have got. You know, I do find it aggravating, like where you only get so many points, and you got to really plan out your tree accordingly.
No, this game you spend them on whatever you want.
Okay. So overall systems, combat, story, what would you give it? Would you give it a out of 10? Like, what would be your would you recommend it? What's your recommendation? What was wrong with it that would make people not want to play it, you think?
I give it a solid 9 or 10.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. How much playtime till you got to the end?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna say probably 10 to 11 hours. Sorry, 17 hours. 18 hours. 18 hours. That was one playthrough, and that was me trying to do as much as I can, because on top of the leveling point system, around you can find 2 types of components, advanced and regular, and there's bunches of them, they're not rare, to upgrade Star-Lord's specific things, like his blasters, to get them slower cooldowns and whatnot. But yeah.
So just looking at the Steam reviews, the average completion time is about 15 to 18 hours, it looks like, overall. I'm scrolling through here, about 15 to 18. Some of them are like 21. I guess they were doing extra stuff. I'm not sure. This one has 42. I'm not sure what he was doing. But
you can play I guess he was trying to go for different routes with stuff.
Right. So let's just round up to 20 hours. It's a 20-hour storied linear game RPG that's $60 according to Steam's prices right now. So do you think it was worth it? Do you think it was worth $60?
Do I think it was worth $60? Not particularly 60.
You're hesitating, so
yeah, you hesitated.
Okay, look. My 10 out of 10 is based on the game, not the price.
Right.
No outside factors.
Not its value. You're not basing it on value.
If I were to include that, I'd probably knock it down to a 7 to 8 because of the price.
That's a huge drop. That's a huge drop.
Because like I paid for like the deluxe edition with like a separate game with it, $60. So I got 2 games. I got the Marvel Avengers game with it as well.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's keyword right there, Marvel.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I am a very big Marvel fan, so that has
no, and I'm saying that for the price tag. So it's the reason it's that high. It's It's like the Marvel multiverse. What's that game? Metaverse, multiverses.
No, that's not it.
Just so you guys know, if you have the second tiered version of the Game Pass, which comes with EA games, it is actually on Game Pass. So, so for anyone out there listening, I would suggest playing it on a Game Pass to give it a try, because it doesn't sound like it's worth $60. I mean, it sounds like it is if you according to Colin's recommendation, it's a 9, almost basically perfect game. He loved it.
It's a really good game.
But a 20-hour campaign, it's kind of stretching it, and that's. From what I saw, it looks like the main is like 15, 16 hours for the main storyline, and anyone that did over that is like extra content, like side stuff.
It's the extra hours you're seeing are people like me getting like trying to find all the loot, trying to find all the cosmetics, because you can find little boxes with different outfits for your characters that are based on other comics and whatnot, which is cool.
So that's another thing I wanted to ask. So there is no microtransactions. This isn't like a live service game.
This is like a one and done. You pay for it, you get the game, nothing else.
And I will give it my recommendation at that point, because EA is horribly known for turning everything they make into a live service game. So I'm actually really happy they created a game. Them and Square Enix have been getting pretty bad, actually. So
the only thing I will say, there are, just so you know, I think.
Bet it out.
There are 3 cosmetics
like
behind a DLC, but that does also include other things. But it is not including story, and these cosmetics really don't do it. The cosmetics don't do anything. They're like any other cosmetics in any other game. But you also get the soundtrack for the game and art down. You get an art book with it.
Not to be rude to people out there who like buying soundtracks for video games, but why? You have YouTube, you have Spotify, you have Pandora. Why do that when you could literally just go to a music streaming service and listen to it whenever, wherever?
I don't know, J-Man. Some people just like to.
I'm just trying to make the point. Like, why? It's. I don't know.
Why do you do the things that you do?
Wow. Okay. Wow. All right.
Why do you mod certain games or play? What were you playing earlier? A emulator? Isn't that stealing, man?
Okay, we are not getting on that subject.
No, we're not. But you're gonna out people for that. Like, I'm gonna out you for other things.
Wow, that you went in a complete opposite direction.
We are breaching our policy here, guys. So...
All right, fine. Where did that breach policy?
I'm sorry, I started that.
Sheath the knives. And...
All right, anyway, can we end the podcast with with my Mad Libs here that we have? We're already on an hour and a half for the podcast. So to the listeners who've made it this far,
are we supposed to do those?
What's that?
So let's do Mad Libs.
Yes.
If y'all want,
I'm down. Libs. Okay, so we're gonna do Carnage, Megan, Colin in that order, and then just rotate as needed.
All right.
All right. Okay, so Carnage, can you give me now? I know Mad Libs normally only ask for nouns, adjectives, plural nouns, but this one actually has a separate need. I need a name of a game. Any game.
Oh my god.
Anything.
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed. Okay. Assassin's Creed. All right. Megan, I need a noun. All right, honey. Any noun at all.
Girl.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, is that considered a noun? I feel like that's
A person, place, or
that's a
thing?
pronoun. Is
Yeah.
girl a pronoun? Honey, I need a noun. Like fire hydrant or car or I don't know, anything that's an actual noun.
All right, a teacup.
Got it. Okay. Teacup. That'll work. Colin, I need a plural noun.
A plural noun. Vehicles.
Sure. All right. Carnage, I need another plural noun.
Clouds.
Okie dokie. Honey, I need another noun.
Elf.
Okie dokie. Colin, I need a noun.
Jonathan.
Is the name a noun?
A person, a place, or a
Place,
thing.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not sure how it's going to work in this context, but sure. All right. Carnage, I need a noun.
How many nouns do you need?
I need a lot.
Egypt.
Okie dokie. This is going to sound so stupid. All right. Megan, I need a plural noun.
Trees.
I'm sorry, what?
Trees.
Trees. Okay. And Colin, last one. I need a plural noun.
Okay. Oh, a what?
A plural noun.
Children.
It works.
All right. This is going to sound stupid as hell and probably not make any sense at all, but whatever. All right. Assassin's Creed is a popular teacup game where you control a team of vehicles as they fight their way through hordes of clouds. Each elf has its own unique Jonathan and Egypt, so you'll need to use strategy to succeed. And don't forget to collect trees along the way to upgrade your children.
That's great. That is great.
All right.
To upgrade your children.
Upgrade
I
your
love it.
children. All right. See you later, Colin. Thanks for being with us, man. Can't wait to see you on the next podcast. Colin's going to be leaving us, so it'll just be Megan, me, and Carnage. All right, guys. Just you two. Carnage. We'll just do one more of these, and then we'll be done. Carnage, I need a noun.
David.
Got it. All right. Megan, I need a noun.
Frame.
Like picture frame?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to put the actual word picture in there too, because otherwise it doesn't sound right. Picture frame. Okay. And Carnage, I need a noun. So, by the way, these Mad Libs that I got don't have any adjective requirements, apparently. I'll have to make sure I do that next time we do these.
Yeah. It's Canada.
That's so good for this. All right, Megan, I need a plural noun.
Trees.
Again? Wow.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm original.
Sounds good. Carnage, I need a regular noun.
Fish.
Okie dokie. Honey, I need a noun.
Pillow.
Okay. Starting to sound like a Dark Souls game now, but all right. And Carnage, last one. I need a noun.
Grass.
Grass. All right. Here we go. In the game David Quest, you play as a brave picture frame who must save the kingdom from the evil Canada. Along the way, you'll encounter all sorts of trees and use your fish to defeat them. But be careful, the final boss is a giant pillow who has a powerful grass attack.
Jesus Christ. That one was terrible.
Yeah, well, We need to find more that actually have adjectives in them. I'll make sure to grab some
Evil
next time.
Yeah, I
Canada?
think we need to generalize the nouns to
Agreed.
keep us under a subject, but that's funny.
We could definitely do that next time. Do like a
I-
vehicle noun or something. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Carnage, do you have anything else to say?
No, I'm good, man. You can sign us out.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for listening, everybody. I appreciate you very, very much for listening this entire 1.5 hour episode. We'll see you in the next one. Later.
Bye.